all they had. So if you slap them in the face, they're probably going to fall.
And it's just like, so you get like action, you get some comedy, you get some good little revenge.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Mission Movie Reviews. Real talk, I'm Barry Gaines.
It's your homie Jay Green.
And today, we're going to talk about something different. We're not going to review any movies, but we're going to give you our opinion on heist films. Heist films, the best heist films that we've seen over the years. We want to know what yours is too, you know? And before we start, I just want to let you know what Justin and I are also involved in when we're not doing this. Justin has a YouTube channel called Green Screen. Just look that up, Green Screen. You can't miss it. He reviews movies that we just don't have a chance to review on this channel. I myself is a filmmaker. Visit GainesEntertainment.com. Also, I have a nonprofit film festival called GainesCon Media Inc.org. Go to that. You can check it out. It's called GainesCon Film Festival. Okay? So we all love your support anywhere we can get it, including right here on Mission Movie Reviews. So now, this is our take, our choices of best heist films. Now, let's start off with Justin. Jay, all right, so what is yours, you think? I'll let you, what's yours?
So, my top heist film of all time for various reasons has got to be Heat. We're talking about Michael Mann, Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, Val Kilmer, a bunch of other great actors. This movie, classic. I think it came out in '95. I can't remember exactly, but yeah, it's got the classic dude that's going too crazy, too far. They gotta hem him up a little bit. He's gonna mess up the score. You know what I mean? You got the great detective and all of his things that he has going on behind the scenes. You got the lead heister in Robert De Niro, everything he's got going on. The detective and him, they meet up at one point in time. It's just such a phenomenal film, and it has a legendary gunfight in downtown Los Angeles.
Oh, yeah, hell yeah. It is
legendary. It is real. It is hard-hitting. And nowadays you see a lot more like realistic type gunfights and things of that nature kind of set up. But back in the day, it was more like bombastic. It was more like, theatrical. This is just very authentic, and it was a great way to kind of like really climax the movie, if you will. But then the true climax is the cat and mouse type chase at the end between the two leads. And phenomenal film. If you haven't seen Heat, you got to see Heat.
Yeah, that's definitely a classic, bro. Yeah, it's definitely that the bank robbing scene. Best there is. Best there is. All right, so my choice here is going to be a classic, The Usual Suspects, that was starring Kevin Spacey, Gabriel Byrne, Chaz Palminteri, Stephen Baldwin, Benicio del Toro, all these guys when they were young and just kind of get into the game, except for like Kevin Spacey, but Kevin Pollak, and directed by Bryan Singer. This movie is such a classic because it's more than a heist film. It's definitely a heist film, but at the same time, it's a mystery of who really is the kingpin, who's really pulling the strings. They tell you who's pulling the strings. You know his name, Casa Sauce. That's what they kept saying. Casa Sauce. There's a guy in the hospital sitting up there, all right. So what did you see? What's his name? Casa Sauce. So that's all you know through the whole film. And at the same time, you found these guys through this heist that they're going through. You know what I mean? I don't want to give it all away. But the thing is, that's the big mystery. And when you find out who Casa Sauce is and who's pulling all the strings and who set up all this heist, because it's not just one heist. There's a couple of heists. And the heist is within the characters themselves. They're getting heist in a way themselves. It's crazy. Such a great film, great acting. It's before, those other guys, Kevin Spacey and Bryan Singer, find out who they were. But before all that, this was definitely top tier heist film. So check that out. If you haven't seen Usual Suspects, check it out. Yeah, what's your next one, bro? All
right, so my next one, I'm going to have to throw in The Italian Job. Mark Wahlberg, Charlize Theron, right? You got Edward Norton in this piece. A bunch of other great guys. You got, what's his name? Jason Statham, Handsome Rob. You know what I mean? And this movie's just so much fun. Like, it starts off with a heist that's pretty dope. You get some stuff going on. I don't really want to spoil it if you haven't seen it, but some stuff is going on. Then the group kind of disperse, they kind of regroup, they figure out a way to do this dope ass heist, get this one person back, and then now they're kind of zipping around LA, going through tunnels and whatnot with like Mini Coopers. And this was kind of like
yeah, remember
Mini
that.
Cooper was like super popular over here. So it's like kind of introducing America to the Mini Cooper, be like, oh yeah, these small ass cars. And it's just like, so you get like action, you get some comedy, you get some good little revenge, you get some awkward moments, but you get some dope car chase type scenes. And if I'm not mistaken, I feel like F. Gary Gray directed this movie.
Yeah, he did.
Mistaken.
He did.
Yeah,
he did.
So black director and F. Gary Gray, the same guy that brought us Friday, you know what I'm saying, and Straight Outta Compton. So it's a great movie. It's really fun, and again, it has like that classic moment in movies. When you look at movies like from like maybe like the 80s, the 90s, and the early 2000s, there was always that get back moment. Like when the lead was able to tell the bad guy like, ha, got you. You thought you were smarter than me. And the whole audience is like, yeah. It has those feelings in it. So it's really a fun movie.
Yeah, that is fun. Yeah, I like that film. And F. Gary Gray, one of the unsung heroes when it comes to action cinema and black actors. You always hear Antafugwa, but you really don't hear F. Gary Gray. But he's made some classics, Negotiator, the one you're talking about. So he did some banging stuff. So yeah, definitely check that out, yo. My other one for this one is going to be, I think it's a little, I mean, I don't think everyone thinks it's such a really great film, but I really enjoyed it. They have a series of them. The third one, I think, was their best one. And it's recent. It's actually Now You See Me. What's the whole name? I know I'm missing. Oh, yeah. Now You See Me, No You Don't. I really like that one. That's starting Jesse Eisenberg, Woody Harrelson, Dave Franco. I mean, and a bunch of people in there. The director, Ruben Fleischer, he directed this one. He also did Zombieland. So if you're a fan of Zombieland, then you're probably going to like this. It has the same feel. But this one was fun because it was different, because you had people who had a skill level, right? They weren't like, you know, criminal. Well, they were criminals in their own way, but you know, they weren't like fisticuffs. They weren't running around with guns or nothing like that. Only thing these guys had were tricks. That's all they had. So if you slap them in the face, they're probably going to fall. But otherwise, if you couldn't reach them, they would, you know, they had so many cool tricks in them and all these, you know, magical moments. It was like really interesting, and figuring a way how to heist what they needed to do, how to play tricks on people right in front of their face, stealing things from them right in front of their face during moments, like during like an occasion, an event, just stealing it right in front of you. That was cool. And just seeing how it was done. So I like the fact that they weren't just kind of showing these magical moments and these cool tricks. They were showing you how they did it behind the scenes, and you know, and kind of adds up like toward the end of the film. You see how they did everything. So it was really cool. So at the same time, watching the heist film, you're learning some magic tricks. Magic tricks that you and I really can't do, but at least showing you how they did it in their world. And I think it was fun. It was funny. At the same time, it was adventurous. So the third one I liked the best. There's a series of them, I liked them all, but to me, the third one was really cool. That was a really twist at the end that I didn't see coming. The others you kind of see, but the third one I didn't see. So check that out. Yeah, that's going to be Now You See Me, Now You Don't. The third one, check it out. I liked it.
That's what's up.
All right, number 3.
All right, so my third one, I'm gonna throw in. Let's see here. It's so tough. There's so many good ones. Okay, so for my third one, I'm gonna throw in one that you would not necessarily really think of as a heist film. Some movies have those elements in there, but then ultimately that's like what it is, right? And it's going to be Army of the Dead, Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead. And that was a Netflix original, and I actually saw it in the theater. Now, the reasons why I'm going to put this on my third, trust me, I'm sure there's other movies that are better than this, but the reason why I'm going to give this movie love is because, one, I do like Zack Snyder's visions in his movies, right? 2, I love the way that he filmed this particular movie. Like, there's like some type of camera lens that he used where it's like the margin for focus is like very, very narrow. So it almost feels like you're kind of like watching like a graphic novel, if you will, like kind of like right in front of you. So I just like the aesthetic of it quite a bit. 2, I enjoy the characters. I think Dave Bautista, I'm blanking on the other dude's name. He's got like a big saw, black dude, super swole, hella cool. But anyways, that guy, he's dope as hell. Everybody else, like, I like the characters. I like how they interact. Then I also love zombies, right? So you go to Vegas and you see all these like dope images, crazy ass zombies and whatnot. And it's like in the beginning of the movie, they're carrying some kind of tanker. Something's in it. They get in an accident. It goes awry. This thing escapes, and then it's going to infect everybody. And then they quarantine off all of Vegas. Good enough for me, right? And then you got this, big mogul talking about, hey, yo, I got a safe over here. I need y'all to break in. We can't do it. So I need y'all to get a team together of, these misfits from all around, whatever, break in, go get this thing, and you got to get out. So we got a ticking clock. You're about to blow up Vegas. You got zombies. You got dope aesthetics, great cinematography. You got awesome action. You know what I'm saying? And then you got, hey, we're going to get all this gold bullion and be balling outrageous. You know what I mean? Right. And then it has a nice little hook at the end where you're like, oh shit, what's coming next? So for me, when I saw that movie, I loved it. I know a lot of people probably didn't, but I thought it was phenomenal. And I think y'all should give it a try. If you go into it with what I just said it has.
Oh no, yeah, I'm the same way, bro. I think that movie, I didn't even think about that as a heist film. That's right. And I love that film. So yeah, I agree with you on that one. I agree with you on that one. All right, so I'm going to go back in time into a classic that today, if it's on, is one of these heist films that I could just sit and then just start watching. It's one of those films. I think a lot of people can agree on this. If you haven't seen it, see it. All right, and it's one of my favorites, Point Break, with Keanu Reeves. Oh yeah. And the late. Where is he? Patrick Swayze. Shout out to Patrick Swayze and my man Gary Busey when he was on his A game. If people don't know who Gary Busey is, watch some 80s and mid 90s stuff. Gary Busey was balling. That was the man. He was wild out.
Give me two.
Give me two. And when you see that, you see what Justin and I were talking about. Check it out. That was great. That was actually directed by Kathleen Bigelow. And she's done a bunch of great films. And what I love about this was there was a few stories involved, and it almost had a couple other genres involved. You had like romantic comedy, you had romance in there, you had action. And of course, drama, very entertaining. At the same time, it didn't stop. So you felt like you were these guys that were doing the heist. Patrick Swayze was the kingpin. He was the one that's running the whole show of all these guys, stealing things, robbing banks. They call themselves the dead presidents, and they all had different presidents mask on, and Johnny Utah was played by Keanu Reeves, and he was a cop infiltrating like their whole, their whole operation and whatnot. He was a narc pretty much, and then he falls in love with one of their women, and it was really cool. And then on top of that, it was all done with like on the beach and everything, and they were jumping out of planes, they were robbing banks, they were on foot, which I love. It's one thing I love about like action films, when it's just a body and these guys are running through homes, jumping over fences, it was an amazing movie. So if you haven't seen Point Break and you want to get that adrenaline rush, check that out.
And if you've ever seen the first Fast and the Furious movie, you've seen Point Break. Because that first Fast and the Furious movie, while I like it, is a direct ripoff of Point Break.
I never thought about that. Probably is. I got to check that out again. Yeah, I guess it wasn't better. I know what you mean.
Not better. No.
Yeah, I was entertained, but now it's better. Not as good as Point Break, definitely. All right, so what's your last one, man? We're gonna go for 4 today, or not?
All right. So my last one. Oh man, I'm toggling between the two, but
yeah,
I'll go with the more responsible one, which is gonna be Ocean's 11. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
I don't think you can overlook.
Which one?
Not the original. I'm sorry. I've never seen the original. So I'm going to go with the George Clooney, the first Ocean's 11 with George Clooney and the whole crew. You got some legends that are not even with us anymore. You know what I'm saying? Bernie Mac. I can't remember off the top of my head. I'm missing out on the other guy, but yeah, people legendary in their craft, in what they do in film and cinema and whatnot. But this movie was also kind of not a reinvention of the original Ocean's 11. It obviously took like a lot of themes from it, but definitely like expanded upon it in a way that we hadn't seen in so long. So that movie is like so fun, so memorable. It's got its moments, Matt Damon, Brad Pitt, Bernie Mac, George Clooney. It's got a who's who. I can't remember if Julie Roberts, is she in the first one?
Second one, I believe.
Second one? Yeah.
I believe it's the second one.
Yeah. So this movie did well enough to like spawn 2 sequels after that, and then a spinoff in Ocean's 8. You know what I'm saying, with Sandra Bullock and whatnot. But super fun movie, great ending. It's kind of reminiscent. The ending to this movie is very reminiscent to me, or I guess Inception's ending is reminiscent, because I think Inception came out after Ocean's 11. But at the end, they're all kind of standing there, you know, watching the fountains over the Bellagio and whatnot, right? And they're kind of looking at each other. Nobody around them knows what they just did, but they know. And they kind of share that look, and they kind of go their separate ways. I love it. It's such a good movie.
No, it is. It's classic. And it's just style. Like, you know, I know it being in Vegas and to fit that Vegas vibe. It has such a great vibe to it, you know, and filmed very well. So, yeah, absolutely. Ocean's 11. And another one, okay, so my other one, I'm torn between 2 of them here. Let's see. You know what? This is another film that I could just turn on and start watching, or if it's on, just stop and I start watching a little bit. It's Jackie Brown, man. Oh, Jackie Brown has so many layers to that's like, if you want a heist film, you want something grounded, nothing too fancy, just people trying to get theirs. It's regular folk trying to get theirs. Had a hard day's of work and they tired of it. I want to get mine. That's Jackie Brown, you know, and you had all of the criminals involved, of course, in the back end. And you had people playing roles. Well, actually, I say a person playing a role that you don't normally see them playing. They have played in the past, like a secondary role or a co-starring role or just a lower role, but they normally a leading actor, which is Robert De Niro. And that's what I love about Robert De Niro. He just plays somebody in the back, just one of the guys, just one of the henchmen, you know, and that movie was awesome. And the movie, I believe, supposed to have been taking places, I think, in the 70s? Is that right?
It felt a lot like it would be the 80s or the early 90s.
Yeah, that's what I think so. And you always felt that 70s feel, because we know Quentin Tarantino's vibe. You know, he loves the 70s, mostly the 70s. So it had that vibe. And you had a shitload of stars in here. But what was great about it was, number one, the aesthetic had that kind of 70s feel to it, texture to it. Then just the way he was filming it was very standard, meaning that it wasn't fancy. It was pretty much a lot of blocking. Just the camera didn't move too much. So it gave that kind of old vibe, you know? And then you had, you had Quentin Tarantino directed. I gotta go. Pam Grier. If you haven't seen Jackie Brown, Pam Grier stars in it. And she is a bona fide legend when it comes to black exploitation films, but even more than that, just a bona fide legendary actress. So got to check out Pam Grier and give her much love watching this. Also, you have Samuel Jackson, Robert Forster. I think he passed away. Shout out to him. Bridget Fonda, Michael Keaton, Robert De Niro. Yeah. Man, you had Chris Tucker with a classic moment. So if you don't watch Jackie Brown, at least watch it for that one scene with Samuel Jackson and Chris Tucker. So an amazing film, really fun to watch, and it's a tricky film too. So now definitely Jackie Brown.
Good pick.
Yeah, man. So we have 4 of them today. I think Justin and I can go on for a little while longer, but we want to know what you think. If you made it this far, thank you for making it this far. We would love to know, what is your heist films? You know what I mean? We'd love to know what it is, and let's talk about it. You know, because, you know, hey, it's all about movies here. It's all about action here. It's all about having a lot of fun here. And we'd love for you to join us with that. So we'd love to hear from you. Anyway, see you guys on our next video. All right. Peace.
Deuce.